Media Group.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Spill the Beans podcast.
Sorry we've been gone for so long, guys. The only updates we have so far is that I'm officially 27 years old. My birthday was last week, and we've been having some amazing days, spending time with our family, our kids, and obviously super busy with the food truck and stuff. But in between all of that chaos, it was my 27th birthday, and it was so fun. And I'm 27 years old, and it's crazy.
Babe, what's one thing that you would say changed from 26 to 27? Like something you believe in, something the way you were, something you really felt strongly about. And now you're like, you know what? I'm 27. I'm more mature. This is what I think.
I feel like the more you grow, the more you realize like the priorities in life. Like nothing really matters. The outside noise doesn't matter. Everybody else doesn't matter. Like if you're pouring into relationships, friendships, whatever, and you're not getting anything in return, like you shouldn't take it personally, you know? And I think that growing up, that's how I was. I would take everything personally. And ever since I had kids, from then on, I've slowly but surely, every year, I feel like I get better with like not taking things personally. And I think that that's really helped me a lot, because not only with like friendships, but like family members or just anything. I feel like the more you take things personal, obviously the more it affects you, even when, because I feel like you grow up and you're like, oh, not everybody's like thinking about ways to hurt me, you know? Everyone just has their own busy lifestyle. So that's the one thing that's been better. I think just letting, like going with the flow and being more chill with everything.
Pop off. You know what Taylor Swift just said on an interview that I saw with Jason Kelce and Travis?
What?
She was on their podcast, and she said, treat your energy like if it was something expensive, right? Mm-hmm. Not everyone can afford your energy, your time, your vibe as a person, right? So treat it as if it was a luxury item from Louis Vuitton, Gucci, wherever you shop from. Like, treat it as such. So if it's not making you grow, if it's not making you money, if it's not making you happy, then why are you going to let them take that energy away from you? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Or that time? And now when she said it, I was like, like pop off. Like maybe this is why you're so, famous, because she's smart. Like that was a really nice way to put it, that your time and your energy is a luxury. Not everyone can afford it.
I feel like so many men are saying that now. Like, this is why people like you, just because she was on the Jason Kelce podcast. But if she had never gone on the podcast, no one would be like, oh my God,
I fuck with
Taylor Swift is so smart.
No, it's because I feel like she's never given herself the time or platform to come down from the clouds and be human. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think she's ever done, quote, I mean, I'm not a big Swiftie, sorry, but I've never seen her on any other podcast. I've never seen her on a TV show. I've never seen her like on a YouTube video, like her vlogs or anything like that. So this is a time que convive con los pobres, as you will. So it like normalized her, you know what I mean? Yeah. Which was pretty cool of them to do. I think in the first hour or day, I think I want to say first hour, it had 14 million views.
Damn.
Let me see what it's at right now.
That's she just crazy. Has it like that. Taylor Swift is that girl.
What's at 19 million?
19 million?
5 days.
It's crazy. I wonder how much money that.
And did you see that Jason's wife had Miss Rachel?
Oh yeah, I did see that. I love the Kelce's.
Anyways, guys, by the title of this video, you know what the heck we're getting ourselves into. No sé por qué. I think it's because here in Colorado, it's super hot. But in the mornings, we get that little fall vibe. And it's like, ooh, Halloween,
well, I
fall.
think that this whole week on like social media, everyone's getting an itch for the fall. Like I've already seen a few of my friends go fall decor shopping, and they've already started bringing out the spooky things. And not to mention this week on the 22nd. So after this already happened, but pumpkin spice is back. So I feel like everything's just starting to come, like spooky season is defrosting. So we wanted to give you a little teaser because obviously you guys know that Jonathan and I take October pretty serious. Maybe not last year because I was a little postpartum, a little busy. But every spooky season we try to like make spooky podcasts, even though I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. So yeah, I think that we're gonna bring that back this year and get some things going for you guys for your entertainment. Probably not going back to the Stanley because we already did that, so we could definitely do something else
The Ouija board.
kind of like that. So yeah, I'm excited.
Anyways, guys, don't click off. If you're a scaredy cat, you're probably like, you know what, skip. No, don't worry. Look, we're just gonna do, like Blanca said, a little teaser, nothing crazy, nothing too. I said, if you don't follow the Spill the Beans Instagram, I'm going to put this screenshot right here, Ian, so people can just submit. Guys, we're at 15.2K followers. Let's get to 20 by the end of the year. Can Halloween boost that to 20? So you guys can vote, merch drops, merch releases. Everything is on our Spill the Beans Instagram. Ready? I said, we're back. For this week's podcast, please submit or DM things that have happened to you, but you can't explain. Doesn't have to be paranormal, just something that occurred to you that till this day you can't explain or can't really tell anyone because you're afraid they won't believe you. I think we should start off, babe, and then kind of set the mood because I feel I have some things that some people won't believe me, you know, and it's like, so you just keep to yourself. But this here at JJ's, we let people vent, you know, JJ's Spill the Bean.
Bro,
we let people vent.
No.
It's because the email ends in JJ.
Not everything meshing together now. Okay, go.
One time I was coming into my grandparents' house in Mexico, después de andar de loquillo afuera and everything. I wasn't that old. I was like 13, 14. And I was about to go in por el portón. And right before I closed the door behind me, veo que están caminando como unos señores. Y I can tell like they're drunk, right? Están borrachitos and everything. But I swear to this day, uno de los señores estaba como caminando, pero noté que estaba caminando como muy derecho, como muy así como, you know when someone's walking like on a treadmill, like así, and then I looked down at his feet and his feet weren't touching the ground. He was just like levitating like that.
Were you drunk or no?
No, that's a good question. But you know me.
He got the drunk scares.
I'm a devil's advocate, and I even doubt my own stuff, right? Because I'm like, oh, my brain, I was scared, blah, blah, blah. I think it looked like he could have been wearing some really white shoes. Y la luna estaba llena. Y las luces de los focos de la calle. So maybe his shoes just looked like there wasn't nothing there. But I swear, he didn't have that walking motion like, you know how when people walk, they go up and down a little bit, kind of like that, like, you know, like that. He was just like, ooh. I was like, oh shit.
He was just floating through life, like a feather. What was I think one of my things, because I'm a very nervous person, so I feel like my nervios play with my head all the time. But I think that, I don't even remember, like, I don't think it was anything spooky, but, well, I wasn't thinking of anything spooky at the time, but I used to work at Dairy Queen, and it was like a pretty far drive from where I used to live. And my dad sometimes, or even Jonathan sometimes, would like come and like wait for me to get off work because I would close. And this day, I remember, it was just like a normal day, like nobody was coming, it was late. It was like a Dairy Queen chillin' grill, so it closed at 11:30, so I was usually out by midnight for sure. So I remember I like went outside, and this is like just a leyenda that I've always heard, and like my dad talks about seeing lechuzas and stuff like that. And I just remember like, I think it was a lot of my nerves, right? But I've always heard that like they chiflan and like they're standing on a tree and waiting for you to come out, whatever. So I remember I got off of work. As I was walking to my car, because I used to, like, the employees have to park across the street, not even in the parking lot, but like across the street on just like a normal street. And when I was walking to my car, I just heard like someone whistle at me. And I like turned around everywhere, and I was like, oh wait, there's nobody around. And I just kept hearing someone whistle at me. And then I think that maybe someone was whistling, I don't know, maybe. But then I got in my car, and I always drive with the windows down at night. I just love how it feels. But also I didn't have AC in the car, so I was like, I have to drive with the windows down. And tell me why I just kept hearing that whistling, like if it was following me from the top. So obviously my mind right away went to like, oh, it's literally a lechuza and it's flying on top of me and it's just whistling at me. And I remember I called my mom, panicked, and I was like, Mom, like, I think someone's following me. There's a witch following me for sure. And she just stayed on the phone with me till I got home. And as soon as I like turned, not even into like to get to the trailer parks, but as soon as I turned into the street that takes you to the street to get into the trailer parks, I didn't hear it anymore. I'm like, now she knows where I live, girl. Yeah, no, it was really scary, but I feel like it has a lot to do with my nerves because I can literally like sit in a dark room and picture like the ring standing in front of me. So I was like, maybe I heard someone whistle and then I just like put two and two together. It was midnight and I was like, oh, for sure there's other two following me. And I told my mom is like, she always believes everything I say, or she makes me feel comfortable with everything I say. Like she never makes me feel stupid or dumb for anything. So she was like, no, like it probably was. Like, I'm glad you called me. You made it home safe. She was probably just taking care of you. I was like,
¿No
no.
le rayaste la madre?
No, and that's what my mom always says, like, or my dad too. They're like, you always have to rayar la madre. I was like, girl, I ain't doing that. Because what if I don't know, something happens in the middle of it. But yeah, I feel like that's crazy. That's like the thing, because I've had a few paranormal things happen to me, but I don't think that was very paranormal. I feel like it was something that could very well happen.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. Like you can't explain, but...
I can't explain it, but maybe it was the nerves taking over.
All right, guys. Vamos y corriendo con... Well, iba a decir su nombre, pero... I mean, these aren't bad, but we'll stay anonymous. I have a cousin on my dad's side that I grew up with, like siblings. Around the ages of 10 and 11, we would talk about our dreams. To our surprise, our dreams were very similar. We would talk to each other in our dreams. Sometimes in real life, we would discuss our dreams, and the other one knew what we said exactly to the other. Fast forward 15 years, we were talking about our dreams and had the same dream our grandmother told us goodbye. And at the same time, we both blurted out, "She told me to take care of you." We called our grandmother and our aunt answered the phone and told us she had passed away in her sleep. She passed away the same night we had our dreams.
That's
what the heck?
Did I tell them about the dream I had with my grandpa or no? Did I tell you?
No, you didn't even tell me.
I told my mom. Oh no, that is so crazy because I feel like, I don't know. I do think that dreams mean things, you know, when you start dreaming crazy shit. But I remember, guys, and I think I told you this story when I was freshly postpartum with Bele and I had to have a TV in the room because I was super scared of sleeping in the dark, blah, blah, blah. So then one day in the middle of the night, I wake up to feed her and I feel a presence in the room.
Oh, yeah.
And all I can think about, like, the presence gave me the vibes that it was my grandma. And it just felt like, for me, usually when I feel spooky, scary shit, I start literally screaming, crying, throwing up. I call my mom, I call Jonathan. I'm like, someone needs to come help me right now because I'm going to pass away. But I felt just peaceful. And I was like, oh my God, my grandma came to meet my baby. And then fast forward like a few months, we went to Mexico after I got my green card. And we saw a picture of my oldest tia, so my grandma's first daughter, the oldest child. Tell me why she looks identical to Belen, or Belen is identical to her. Like, mi tia Rosa and Belen as babies, the exact same baby. So I was like, maybe my grandma was like, wait a minute, like, this girl looks just like my daughter, so she came to meet her, whatever. So that was crazy, right? I think I did say that in the podcast.
That one, yeah, but you just...
So then, it's so insane because then my grandpa unfortunately passed away on June 30th. And 2 days after, mind you, I was not really thinking about him like at night. Usually you dream of things that you think about at night, right? Mm-hmm. Before you go to sleep, or nightmares. I was not thinking about him at all that night because I know, like, I kind of control the things I dream. So when I go to sleep, I literally go to sleep watching a show so that I don't dream because I'm very known for having vivid dreams. So that night, like, I wasn't thinking about him, nothing. Obviously in the back of my mind, I was like, damn, like, my grandpa passed away, you know? So tell me why I had the most vivid dream, right? And I'm sitting, like, I'm laying on my bed exactly where I always lay, and where I lay, when you open the door to our room, you can literally open the door directly into Franco's room and it goes into you. The first thing you see is like his rocking chair. So all I remember in this dream was me sitting down on our bed, and my grandpa was sitting on Franco's rocking chair, just rocking back and forth.
What the hell? Where was I?
I don't know. I was dreaming. He was like laughing, like just like super happy, like rocking back and forth. And oh my God, I literally called my mom sobbing when I woke up because all I remember is like my mom was sitting next to me and he was wearing like a blue checkered shirt and his hat. That's literally what he always wore. And all I remember is like him getting up off the chair and like coming to hug us. Like, he hugged me. And all I remember saying was like, oh, gracias por despedirse, you know? And I woke up and I was like, holy shit. Like, my grandpa literally just came to say bye to me 2 days after he passed away.
Damn. He was popular. He took a while to get to you.
Yeah, I gotta make my rounds. Probably went to my aunt's first and then me. But that was so insane. So it's like when people tell me dreams like that, I automatically believe. I believe you, girl. Honestly, I believe every delusional thing in this world. So like, I believe you because that
dreams
has happened
are
to me.
powerful because they say that dopamine and like what's that drug? Yeah, dopamine. The thing in DMT, oh no, DMT is also in your brain. Is only released when you die and in dreams.
Damn.
So could the spiritual realm be trying to talk to you through dreams? Very much so. Babe, is it just me or is there something about summer that just makes us feel our best?
Yes, and what better time than now to create healthy meal habits that actually last? There's no better time than now to get Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for clean eating.
Green Chef makes it easy to go out and enjoy more of summer instead of spending it in a boring kitchen cooking. And now with their heat and eat meals, enjoy a delicious meal in just 3 minutes.
With 80 plus dietitian approved weekly meal options, Green Chef makes it easy to find meals that fit your lifestyle.
Pick from Mediterranean, gluten-free, plant-based, and protein-heavy, even gut and brain health and calorie-smart choices too. And the recipes change every week. And with week-to-week flexibility, you can adjust your plan to match your mood and your schedule.
We use Green Chef because we're always on the go. So if we can get a meal on the table fast, that is right up our alley.
It's so hard to choose one of my favorite meals, but I would just say anything Mediterranean. It's a different category that growing up I wasn't really into, but now with that Green Chef provides it as an option, it's so bomb.
Make this summer your healthiest yet with Green Chef.
Head to greenchef.com/50spillthebeans and use code 50spillthebeans to get 50% off your first month, then 20% off for 2 months with free shipping.
That's code 50spillthebeans at greenchef.com/50spillthebeans. Maybe my grandpa was like super sad that he couldn't say bye to us. So he was like, wait, before I go, I need to come say bye to them. Because my mom was super devastated when he passed away. So the fact that he literally came and hugged her and me. And it was so vivid. Like he was sitting on Franco's rocking chair. So crazy. And I wasn't even scared. I just woke up sobbing because it was like, it was the most beautiful thing I had ever experienced.
Oh, your mom had a dream?
No, I just called her and told her about it.
Oh. All right. Too long for the box, but I once had my boyfriend on FaceTime and we fell asleep. We woke up in the middle of the night to my Google Pod playing music. When I asked it to stop, it said, "Did you mean?" and played back a recording of a little girl's voice twice.
Oh, nah, baby.
After that, my dad called me asking if I had gotten home safe. I live in his home and had arrived before 9 p.m. The creepiest part is that the next day when I asked my dad why he called, he said he never called and had no record of calling. Till this day, I wonder what the little girl's voice was saying and who actually called me.
That's actually crazy.
That is cool. Like, this is why I love this topic, things you can't explain, because just like a good movie, when it ends, it's just up to your imagination. Like, we just watched Weapons, no spoilers, but it leaves you on a cliffhanger like, oh shit. And then I feel like the directors do that on purpose to leave you to like, you know?
Just interpret.
Yeah. So then this is like, you can interpret it. You can interpret it like it was something good or most likely something very bad.
That's actually crazy. I don't know. There's like things like that really scare me because even with like the white noise, with Franco's white noise, we've had his white noise since he was born. So it's like the oldest generation. And sometimes like you can literally hear things coming out of it. And I remember Jonathan and I, we talked about this story. We're like downstairs in the living room and we could hear music coming out of the camera, like the little monitor. We go upstairs and we still hear this freaking music and it's coming literally out of the white noise. It was just like a melody like slowly playing. And it's so crazy because there's like sometimes, because I have a lot of insomnia. So obviously like by 2 or 3 in the morning, if I'm not to sleep, I'm hallucinating something, you know? So there's been times where I'm like, if I'm trying to go to sleep and I just focus too much on the white noise, I can hear people like whispering and stuff. So I'm like, all right, this is my cue. I need to go to sleep.
No, but
baby.
I do think it is something because the other day, the white noise in Franco's room, I swear it was just like people talking.
Yeah, it is. I think it's.
I think you know what it is, babe. I think just like walkie-talkies can pick up the current signals. I feel like those things pick up signals and they mess, especially since you know those big light posts that live by our house.
Yeah, and that's why people say like with Wi-Fi powered monitors, you shouldn't get those because then like that's how hackers can get into them and start talking to the kids with the camera. You know, too scary for me, baby.
You wanna read? Do you see Emily's?
Wait, I have some. These are from my Instagram.
Oh shit! People DM'd you?
Yeah. When my dad committed suicide, I seen a black shadow behind me. I was packing for Vegas. I actually didn't know he passed away until the next morning. The next day, I had a dream he was laying in my bed trying to talk to me, but I couldn't hear him. Fast forward 2 years later, I had a dream we were in a maze with black shadows following us, and he told me, at 3:30 a.m., wake up and rub 2 rocks together and ask for me. I woke up at 3:23 a.m. and was so spooked because that morning I had opened rocks for my fountain in my room. LOL, yeah. Oh, no, baby. Did you rub them together or no?
You should have. Fucking.
Fuck no. That is like the biggest thing that I've heard a lot of people say. Like, the one story my mom always tells is about one of her family members' son passing away. But, like, he passed away, like, the day before unexpectedly. So then the next morning, his mom hears someone come in through the door, turn the shower on. She goes into his room and his clothes are laid out to go to work. But he was dead already. You know, so it's like
But could that have been the moms, like those movies we watched where they can't deal with the grief?
Yeah, maybe. Like the
because you could black out.
Yeah.
Like sleepwalk.
What's that movie
grief walk. Well, don't spoil it.
What was it called?
The one with the lady in the bank?
Yes. What was it called? It's like one word.
Tame? No. Something to do with crazy, like no.
Scream? No.
Oh, whatever.
I don't know, but it's a really good movie, guys. It has like a psychological twist, and I feel like that's what this podcast was kind of about, because it's like, yeah, there's so many paranormal things that happen in life, but there's sometimes where something happens, you're like, wait, am I delusional or did this actually just happen to me, baby?
Yeah. Guys, let's bring this little topic up, babe, because you know how I told you I've been listening to this podcast with the Catholic priest, and if you guys comment, I want you to comment about this, like answering this question, right? Because I think this topic is very sensitive, but it's very 50-50. And then you can say what you think and I can say what I think.
Okay.
According to that Catholic priest, he said anyone offering you to contact your dead relatives, family members, friends or whatever, it will never be something positive. Like not even if you don't go to like a card reader or the Ouija board, it's just not there. Like the way the priest says is like your mom, if your mom was a good person, she's chilling in heaven with God. She wants nothing to do with coming back here to, you know? Mm-hmm. So guys, in the comments, do you think, because you hear about those stories like, oh my God, when my dad died, like he said that his favorite animal was butterflies or whatever, or my mom's favorite animals were butterflies. And then one time I was on my porch and I was feeling really sad, and this butterfly, I'm telling you a real story I heard on TikTok. This butterfly landed on my arm, and it like it felt like my dad was, or my mom was watching me and telling me that everything's okay.
Yeah.
You hear those beautiful stories and you're like, well, exactly. I think it's true that way. But then you hear the Catholic priest and, my family and then the church that I go to constantly says it's like, no, like anyone that like you talk to your relative or que te despiertas en medio de la noche y ves a tu mamá parada ahí and you feel what, like that's the devil. Like it's demons trying to convince you because
you're vulnerable.
You're vulnerable and just people don't come back. Like,
yeah. Have we not been taught anything by the Insidious movies? One of my favorite Insidious movie, that's crazy to say, but it's scary. It's the Insidious chapter 3, and it's this girl, she's like mourning her mom that just passed away from cancer, and all of a sudden like she starts hearing her mom through the vents, and then all of a sudden she like starts like talking to her, and then she starts seeing her, not her mom, but like a demon, like a ball demon with like in an oxygen tank, just like watching her at different places, like when she's dancing, when she's performing at like a stage, and then the last time she sees her, she gets run over by a truck, so it's like And have those movies literally not taught us that none of that is true? Like you trying to talk to, it's like playing the Ouija board.
But you just said yes to the butterfly example.
Yeah, but you're not actively seeking it. You're not like, okay, if you're listening to me right now, a butterfly has to land on me, you know? It's just like things that you know, because everyone knows like butterfly is a sign of life. And like, you know, like the mom I started following on TikTok, she lost her son 2 years ago. She said that when she showed up to the road where he was ran over, as soon as she gets to where it was, she like picked up a broken piece of his dirt bike, and then a bunch of butterflies just started landing around them. She's like, it was so unexplainable. Like, why are there butterflies flying around you right now? And that's how she was like, it was my son. Now when it's 3 a.m, you hear your mom talking to talking to you through the vent, you know?
I don't know. I think we can't really pick or choose, you know?
You don't think so?
Well, nah, you know what? I think there's a evil and the good realm.
Well, what
and
if
butterflies
God is like
are
that?
good.
Like God is like, you know what? Like I can't give you visitation days. Like you
Oh,
I can't.
like I'm not gonna have your mom talk to you, but I can send.
Like you will never see your mom again. Obviously, like that's the nature of life.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have you see a bunch of butterflies so that you feel like you're okay. You know.
That's a good
God
way,
is crazy like that.
That's
a
good way.
So, anyways, what was the next one? But yeah, watch Insidious Chapter 3 if you wanna get spooked real bad.
This happened to me when I was around 9 to 10. I used to sleep with my older sister. It must have been around 3 to 4 a.m. And the room was pitch black. No TV on, no phone, nothing. So it was really hard to see the room. All I remember when I woke up was seeing someone sitting on the edge of the bed. I couldn't tell who it was. All I remember was the black figure, who I assumed was my mom, and I just turned back around and fall asleep. The next morning, I was asking my mom, who was sitting at the edge of the bed staring at my sister, and my mom had no idea what I was talking about. She said she never went into our room, and my dad was in Mexico at that time, so it couldn't have been him either. To this day, they just say it was a dream, but I vividly remember something sitting at the edge of my bed staring at my sister.
That's crazy. I hate
Guys,
those.
we said no scary. We said things you can't explain.
Literally.
I know there's a girl driving to her freaking like work at 6 a.m. and she's like, oh, frick, it's still dark outside. Hell no, I'm turning this shit off. There's so many guys. You guys have not DM'd or like participated in something like this in such a long, like this magnitude in a long time.
Okay. Hi guys, long story, but I think it's unexplainable. About 4 years ago, when my husband and I got our first rental home, we noticed que se nos subía el muerto. We didn't say anything and it continued to happen. After some time, we had a party at our house and my sister-in-law asked to change the baby in my room. I said yes and went outside to attend the guest. My sister and her go to my room and change my nephew's diaper. Days passed, and when I told my sister about the situation que se nos subía el muerto, she told me, OMG bro, the other day at your house when me and my sister-in-law went to change the baby, we noticed his sock was missing. We checked under the bed and in the diaper bag and didn't find it. We put on his shoe without the sock on since both of us didn't find it. Once we got outside and sat down for a while, my sister-in-law noticed the sock was on the baby. We literally spent like 5 minutes looking for the sock and we both saw that he did not have it on. That's crazy, guys. That's giving me like the duende vibes that we had at Firestone. Do you remember? Yeah. Where things would go missing and then they would show up in unexplainable places and we're like, oh, it's el duende that was like walking around the house. But to be honest, I was terrified. There's things like that. And there's also things in our Sherman house where it was like the game room, like the podcast game room. We always experienced super bad vibes there. And I remember one time that we really got spooked. It was before Franco was born. Ozo was sitting on our bed in our room and he was looking directly into that dark room and just like growling at it. And we're like, what the hell? But fast forward to when we had Franco, my mom was staying in that room. Se le subió el muerto a ella. And I was like, oh,
and I saw it, remember?
Oh yeah, you saw? What did you see?
I saw que se le subió.
Oh.
Because guys, so when Franco was born, we
were all sleep deprived, hallucinating.
Blanca, pues nosotros dos nos agarramos de que I was a morning person or whatever. So morning meant waking up at 3 a.m. to cover the shift, right? And so I was like, it's whatever. I bought a Nintendo DS, a bunch of outdoor boys on YouTube, and I was good. So I woke up right around 3 and I started, chilling with Franco or whatever, playing my Nintendo. And at that time, the girls were also sleeping with us.
Yeah.
But they would sleep in the living room. But Magali was a little bit younger, so she sometimes would come in with my suegra or just period like sleep with my suegra all night in that scary room that we're talking about. So one day it's like 3 a.m., right? I'm chilling on my video game. I look up and it's de esas veces que ves a alguien que pasa, pero like good, you know? So I was like, oh, it's Magali. Like she's going into the room. I see her walk into the room. Not Magali. I just see like almost if you were to see like the back of someone's white shirt go into a room. Así bien rápido. So I'm like, oh, se va a acostar. And I heard because era un colchón inflable, right? I heard that like the squeaky, like when someone gets on an inflatable mattress. So I was like, oh, Magali came at 3 a.m. She's scared because our Sherman house, the living room was kind of like in those deeper ones, parecía basement. So I was like, oh, Magali se vino a acostar. Fast forward the morning, my suegra tells us que se le subió el muerto, blah, blah, blah.
Magali,
she couldn't move.
In fact, did not sleep
and my suegra was
night.
like, Magali no se durmió conmigo anoche. And I was like, holy shit. Like,
yeah.
She's like, ¿y por qué no me ayudaste? Blah, blah, blah. I was like,
well, because my mom said that she was trying to like speak. Like she was trying to speak. And Jonathan's like, well, maybe I thought you were whispering to Magali or something.
Yeah.
Like,
and I did hear her talking.
Yeah. She's like, I would have never, he said, I would have never thought to like get up and go check. Like, that's so unlike me, you know?
Yeah.
So it was really scary. So things like that, I totally like, because everyone's like, if you believe in God, you believe in the devil, right? One of them can't exist without the other because of everything the Bible says, whatever. So it's like, unfortunately, like if you believe in miracles, why wouldn't we believe in all of these demonic possessions, exorcisms, whatever? And granted, I do feel like when a house has bad vibes, a room has bad vibes, it's because something has been done in that room, right? Or it just carries different energy. So I truly believe that, because at the end of the day, if it's not God, it's a demon. You know, like if you have spirits and you're a guardian angel walking up behind you, like, don't we also believe that there's bad spirits and demons around? So if they're like, I don't know, but like there's also times when you talk about like, why would a demon would like want to just fuck with me like that? Like take my nephew's sock off, make us go crazy, look for it, and then put it back on when we get outside. You know, like that's crazy. This is an ad by BetterHelp.
Babe, don't you feel like there's advice for everything nowadays? Cold plunging, gratitude journals, screen detox. It just feels like nothing is catered to what we need specifically.
Yeah, and with the internet and the information overload about mental health and wellness, it can be such a struggle to know what's true and what actions to take.
Using trusted resources and talking to live therapists can get you personalized recommendations and help you break through the noise.
Therapy helps me manage my stress by knowing that there's someone I'm going to talk to once a week so I can vent and unload everything I have going on.
And I'm so grateful for therapy because it truly has been a game changer in our marriage and our relationship with our kids. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally.
And it works with an App Store rating of 4.9 out of 5 based on over 1.7 million client reviews.
Guys, and it's so convenient too. You can join a session with a therapist at just a click of a button and fit it into your busy schedule. Plus, no hard feelings. You can switch therapists at any time.
Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/spillthebeans.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/spillthebeans.
I don't know, girl. And then that room also had like a weird attic to it.
Oh, yeah.
We're like, we never went in there, but
I went
you
in
never
there.
know. Oh, you did?
I remember I opened it and I went in there.
Yeah.
All right, your turn.
Okay, that was yours.
Really? Mm-hmm. This hasn't happened to me per se, but my grandma has duendes at her rancho. The stories she shares are crazy. In su rancho, the kitchen is separate from the house, and if she ever leaves dishes out, she will wake up to clean dishes. Mind you, she locks the kitchen at night, so truly nobody can get in without her keys. She always tells us to not go into certain areas of the backyard, que porque ahí se duermen los duendes. And my cousins from Mexico have shared that at times they kick their soccer ball into said area and it gets thrown back to them at times. And at times la punchan. No sé si son mis primos siguiéndole el rollo a mi abuela, but at least she has some nice duendes helping her. Do y'all believe in that?
Didn't you tell me a story about a lady that had duendes that cleaned her house?
I think your mom told me.
I think you did. No?
No, I told you una historia de un duende, algo con el cepillo. Que les tiraba el pelo.
Oh, damn.
But I have heard that, que hay duendes que sí limpian los trastes y todo eso. Pues que los echen para acá porque...
Nah, hell no. Don't even say that.
You know what? Why I think we haven't felt anything at this house, babe?
Why?
It's because it's truly a new build and no one has lived in it before.
Yeah, no one.
Because even the Firestone house was built in 2019, but there had been families living there.
And it was giving vibes that nobody really cared about who lived in there. Like if you qualified, you'd go and move in. Like they didn't really care. And here, like our landlord is super nice. They're like a nice family, and they actually like go through your background. Like, okay, you have 2 dogs, you have kids. Like you're good, and like I feel like they're good people. You know. Yeah. So maybe like they didn't have enough time to do anything crazy in the house.
Who?
Our landlord. Now.
Oh, well, I also feel like it's because it was truly new. It was built in March and we moved in July.
And you don't think it was built on top of anything? Yeah, it was just
because
like
I've never gotten even fields. A weird vibe.
No, me neither. I've always been, and you know what? Oh my God, there's been 2 things that happened to me recently this week at night.
At that house?
Yeah. But I don't get scared. You know what I mean? Like
what?
Like last night. Oh my God. I think it was just like I moved or something. But Belen sleeps with Franco like the first half of the night, and she woke up. So I had already put her in bed with us. It was Jonathan, Belen, and then me. She was in the middle, and I was just chilling on my phone, and I just heard something like on the window closest to you, and then my cobija unfolded and it just like fell, but I didn't move. But then I was like, maybe it did move. It was just like a little move. Like,
do you move or not, babe?
I don't know.
What's going on? Because I feel like you'll be tripping yourself out.
Yeah, but I was like, I didn't get scared.
Did I move my foot? Maybe.
Maybe you moved. I don't know, but I didn't feel anything. Like
the window was open. Yeah. I left it open, so maybe a breeze.
Yeah, hopefully. But past me, like at Firestone, I'm like, oh hell no. That demon is in here and it's trying to get me. And at this house, I was like, oh, okay, that was weird. So I just kept scrolling on my phone. But like, it's also like, I feel like the older I get, because I'm like, realistically, like I'm a mom. Franco gets scared at night. It's dark. Like I should be a little bit more brave, right? I shouldn't let things get to me. So like now when things like scare me, I'm like, oh, fuck that. Like, no. But the kind of like le rayo la madre in my head, you know? Because I'm like, no, like a demon's not going to fucking spook me in my own house. So yeah, all that to say,
you know what? I forgot to tell you, but I had something unexplainable happen to me today at the gym. So you know the turf where you stretch in golds? Yeah. I've been starting to stretch because I feel really stiff and la sciatica has been acting up. So it was just me in front of the mirror on the ground with the rolling thing. And then like a guy behind me. And then a guy like all the way like by like the bikes or whatever. So yeah, I'm doing my thing. I turn to the right and all the medicine balls are there, right? And the weights and everything by the window. And I see this medicine ball and it's just moving like this, like that. Like if someone had just dropped it off, but it's like when you drop something off, you just place it there. Mm-hmm. And you know how medicine balls are like really heavy? So they can't, like if you throw it, it'll just plop kind of. But this, like, it was crazy because I was doing my, like where you twist like this. So then I looked, I twisted like this. And I look at this ball and it's just moving. And right away, I turn, as soon as I see it moving, I turn the other way to see if potentially, my idea was like someone just dropped it off and they're walking away. So as soon as I turn around, I'm going to see who it was. Nope. No one, like that person was still stretching there. And they were doing some crazy origami shit. So it's not like they threw it and ran and sat right away. It was just moving there. And it moved for a good, like, I know 10 seconds doesn't seem like a long time, but when you throw a medicine ball, like even a soccer ball doesn't bounce for 10 seconds, you know? Like, damn. And it was just moving like this. And I was like, what the hell? There must be a crazy current, right? Like AC. And I stared at it for those 10 seconds and it stopped. So I was like, if it was a current, it would have kept moving. And it stopped. Crazy. And then I go over, I pick it up it's heavy. Like it was just moving. And I turned around to the guy stretching. I was like kind of wanting to make eye contact with me, pero era como un güero, and maybe he just didn't want to lock eyes with me. But I wanted to be like, yo, do you see this? Like, what the hell? Like, you know?
Yeah.
And that's something that I cannot explain. I just saw a medicine ball moving.
Actually insane.
But obviously, like, what? And you know what? I had just started the Catholic Priest podcast.
You know what they say?
I started it right there stretching, babe. I swear to God.
That's crazy.
I heard the TikToks on my drive to the gym, and I was like, oh, this seems really interesting. I'm going to put the whole podcast on. Boom. I connect my headphones, start stretching, and then that is crazy. Now that I think about it.
You know what they say? When you start getting closer to God, the enemy starts attacking.
Yeah.
This happened in Mexico. Okay, so it was one of our last nights in Mexico. So, of course, we had to get some shots in. But okay, anyways, we got a little drunk. When it was time for bed, not even 5 minutes later, we heard the cries of La Llorona, loud and clear. Oh, no, baby. Me and my cousin, of course, were drunk, and we both heard it. In the room, it was me and my drunk cousin, my mom, and my sister. They were not drunk, and my nieces and my 2 kids. Okay, after we heard the cry, we just covered ourselves head to toe. Tell me why we end up falling asleep, but I wake up to my little girl, 3 years old at the time, outside the room with a bloody nose, just crying. My aunt's house in Mexico is set up different, so it's our room, and when you open the door, it's like a little porch, but it's still inside the house. My daughter was just there leaning on a chair, crying with a bloody nose. Scariest thing ever. I just grabbed her, tucked her back in the bed, and fell asleep holding both my babies. I don't think I'll ever get drunk in Mexico again. Oh no, sweetie.
No.
That is unexplainable. You didn't like wake her up and were like, hey, why are you bleeding? Did you pick your nose?
Hi, Blanca and Jonathan. First off, let me give you an insight of what my dad does for a living. He works for himself and trims trees, landscape, etc. 4 years ago, I had a dream where I went with my dad to trim some trees. The terrain was uphill and uneven. In the dream, my dad had a rope tied around his waist for protection. My dad had slipped from the tree and he was being suffocated by the rope, which slid up to his chest. That's where the dream ends. So the day I had the dream, I decided to call my mom and let her know. That way she could tell my dad to be careful. Within that week, I spoke to my mom again on the phone. She told me that my dad was trimming a big tree and the ladder slid off. My dad was hanging from the tree with the rope around his torso. My mom struggled to get the ladder back into place since it was big. Thankfully, she managed to get it back into place for my dad to step. I was shocked to hear about what had happened.
Damn,
dreams are so powerful and like... But at that point, like, okay, it's a dream, but you're also seeing the future. You know what I mean? Which makes me think, like, is everything just predetermined in life?
But see, doesn't everyone says that God already has your life written out for you?
But you can, like, I could just, if I really wanted to, I could just start driving to Montana right now. You know?
No, because there's too many things that are not allowing
I could if I really wanted to.
God is just laughing at you like this, man. My little brother passed away from cancer in November of 2017. My husband and I had been trying to get pregnant all 2017 and it didn't happen. In February of 2018, I found out I'm pregnant, and based off my due date, I got pregnant the exact day of my little brother's birthday, January 21st, 2018. My husband and I did not do the deed that day. In April, I had a dream with my brother where he told me my baby was a boy. I still didn't know the gender then. In June, I find out the gender, and sure enough, it was a baby boy. That's so sad. I'm so sorry, girl. But honestly, like, that's beautiful too, you know? Like, your brother telling you in your dream that you're having a boy, and then you have a boy, and then you got pregnant on your brother's birthday, and you didn't actually do the deed on your brother's birthday. That is unexplainable, actually.
I used to make ribbon bouquets, and a lamp I used to help me see better turned on by itself while I was cooking my husband lunch at 4 a.m. while he was in the bathroom pooping / getting ready. Then that night, he said I woke up screaming that my bio mom was there. She passed away when I was 1 in a car accident, but I don't remember waking up. I'm a light sleeper and remember when I wake up or say stuff, but I don't recall waking him up at 2 to 3 in the morning saying my mom was there.
Damn.
Dun, dun, dun. You know what's crazy? I want to share a story because I feel like he's too shy to be on the podcast. But Marco, he always tells me that when he was younger and he lived with his parents in the basement, se le subió el muerto. Pues la muerta, actually. Because he said that one day he was just sleeping and one night and that he woke up right like in the middle of the night. And guys, like it wasn't I think that if I'm saying this correctly, he wakes up, there's something in the corner of his room just standing there. Like an old lady, they say, like a figure. He closes his eyes, he opens them again, and it's right in front of his face like this. Like he's laying and the lady's right in front of his face screaming. He said screaming like that. So then, and he couldn't scream, he couldn't move. His eyes were watering because he was so scared. And then he just closed his eyes again and he would open them and she was still there screaming, close them again. And then like 2 minutes later or whatever, he finally could move and nomás se tapó with the covers. But what's so interesting to me about that story is that Marco is not like, he's never been like a crazy guy, you know? Yeah. Like he's not the type to be like, well, actually I did watch a scary movie at night, or you know what? I was watching Ouija videos on YouTube. Like nothing like that out of the norm, you know? Yeah. So I'm like, bro, did you eat chocolate? Did you eat something before you went to sleep that could have triggered this? He's like, it was a one and done thing. Like he's never had it happen to him before.
Respectfully, if that ever happened to me, I would genuinely
imagine a little girl just screaming at you, babe, or running towards you at night. I would pass away. And grabs your feet and just starts pulling. All right, and then you can't move. And I'm like in the other room.
Because they don't usually talk to you or hold you.
What if it was like a man? Like,
oh my God. See, now your mind goes crazy.
Sorry, my TikTok's that right now.
Let's see. Sure. Should we do one more or no?
Damn, 45. That went by fast.
Okay, let's do this one. When I was younger, my cousin from Mexico asked me if I could send her half of the money so we could help my uncle with his bills. Because he was really struggling, she would put the other half and we would quietly give it to him without telling anyone else. My uncle was an amazing person, always helping people, so I said, of course. That week, my dad was taking a trip to Mexico, so I asked him if he could take something for me. I did not tell him what it was, but I put it in an envelope and put tape all around the envelope in a crazy way so that if it was open, my cousin would be able to tell if someone messed with it. I put in a $50 bill, nothing more. I know for a fact it was only $50 because first of all, I was young and barely had anything. That's what I had and that's all I put. Well, long story short, my dad went on the trip and came back and handed me the envelope back because he didn't have a chance to see my cousin to give it to her. When he returned it, it was intact. It was the exact same way I had given it to him. Everything was the same. Next day, I went to take the money out because I was going to try to send it to my cousin another way. And when I went to open it, there was an extra $100 bill in there, shaped like a heart, folded perfectly. I had no idea where it came from. To this day, I think about it often. No one opened that envelope, and I really don't know where it came from. So I was shocked. Never told anyone because they wouldn't believe it. That's crazy.
How old was she?
She was young, she says.
That is crazy.
That is real crazy, girl. God,
but you know what I think about these stories, babe? It's like when you watch a magic trick, like a really good one, right? By a magician in Vegas or stuff. And you're just like, this has to be freaking magic. Like, there's no way, right? Like, this is the devil. This is magic. This is whatever. Like, you are like, this is crazy. But then you see the TikToks where they show you how to do it. And you're like, oh, okay, you know?
So what?
So I think a lot of these stories, right, coming from a rational, normal perspective, maybe.
But about this story specifically?
Oh, I don't know. Like I'm like, how young were you? Intoxicated?
Why?
You like, you know? I don't know.
Elaborate. What does it make you think?
Because usually, like, if it's in like the holidays and you're sending money, maybe you've been drinking a little bit, something. I don't know.
She was young and only had $50 to her name.
Young, as in like 6. I started drinking when I was 16.
That's you though. Like that's
not I'm just that saying. Normal. No, I do believe her. I do. I'm just saying, like, what could it have been? Like, do you think that her dad did open the envelope, saw the cute gesture, put the heart-shaped $100, and then just she hadn't seen that? Obviously, her dad didn't just go and come back right away. Maybe it took him 2 weeks. He wrapped it, and she just seemed that it was also wrapped in a crazy way. So, like, she just assumed it was the same crazy way that she did.
Maybe she took a picture of it.
No, yeah, I believe you, girl. I just like, I like, you know, I like thinking and seeing what it could have been.
Devil's advocates.
I just feel like if I caught Franco doing that, I would be like, this is so freaking cute, bro.
Yeah,
like,
so you just give her back the money. And
and if you just wrap it así, igual que ella lo hizo, and she hadn't seen the wrapping in 2 weeks, then it's just going to look the same, you know?
I don't know. The possibilities are endless, girl. But honestly, I'm here to believe all of the delusions in this world. So that would happen to me. I'm like, holy shit! Like God is just paying me back from the good deed, and I would send him that $150 right back to him. You know.
Y luego te los manda para atrás. Money glitch.
Oh no, baby. Anyways,
right,
I think we should name Jonathan on this podcast Devil's Advocate Final Boss.
I just, como dicen, hasta,
Como dice
knock on wood,
dicho.
hasta que me pase a mí, bien.
No.
Bien,
y luego le
bien.
pasa algo like, nah, but like I have to see it with my own
I have to see it. I'm sorry, I have to. Like, there's just, como dijo Joe Rogan once, anyone can lie. The brain is so powerful until you can truly see it with your own two eyes or touch it. Then it's not there.
Yeah, I feel like you're just too serious for this life.
Like, no. I was telling, who was I telling this? You know, Sam and Colby? Mm-hmm. Remember how I think they're still doing the paranormal videos, right? Yeah. And Joe Rogan had them on the podcast and he was like, so like in conclusion, do you guys believe like you've been doing this? And they straight up say like, look, man, like there's been really strong occurrences that were like, oh shit, what was that type of thing? But he's like, until I see the lady levitating in the air on the chair, we just still don't believe. And they actively look for it. They've gone to the Conjuring house. Yeah. They've gone to the boat, the Titanic, not the Titanic.
Things like that don't really exist in that sense. Like I was saying, if God exists, the devil exists. If good spirits exist, if your guardian angel exists, then obviously like bad spirits exist, demons exist, the devil exists. Okay. So it's like things like that happen. Like obviously you think like God doesn't ever put himself in front of you and show you like, hey, I'm real, so look at me. Oh. So why would you ever question the bad too? Like I feel like this is something that I've always struggled with, guys, because I've always thought, right, like if God exists, like where does bad exist? But obviously if God exists, the devil exists. So just like how God doesn't come down, stand in front of him, like I'm right here, listen to what I'm telling you, I'm trying to help you, the devil isn't going to appear to you in that way either, and a demon isn't going to either. Like you think that the demon's going to be like, oh, here's a little girl in front of you so you can get scared and believe in me, because God isn't telling you like, oh, here I'm going to put your guardian angel in front of you so you can see it with your own two eyes.
Damn, babe, you're smart as hell. Like, that's like probably the smartest thing you've ever said.
That's just how my mind works, because I'm like, obviously if God,
because if he did put that little girl in front of me, I would just get closer to God.
Exactly.
Right?
Because
I would be like, oh shit, like, no, you are real.
Exists.
Let me go confess myself, get closer to God. I want to go to heaven, be a good Christian. Yeah. But if he puts money, new cars, lust, and then I'm like slowly creeping away from God, but also not fully believing in the devil still, but getting closer to him than to God, you know?
Thank you.
Wow, babe.
Thank you.
Maybe that's why I've never seen anything.
Bruh, obviously, because I know like this is like for desperate times too. Like when you're going through such a hard time in your life and you're on your hands and knees begging God, like just tell me something. Like you obviously want him to come down, stand in front of you and be like, hey, like I got this, or you're gonna be okay. Like that's not gonna happen, because God says I'm all around you. I'm the tree that is giving you oxygen. I'm like all the light, you know, everything. So it's like if you're like trying to be like, well, I don't believe there's demons because they don't stand in front of me and tell me that they're hi, I'm a demon. But you can feel the energy around you. You can hear the footsteps in the living room. You can hear someone whispering to your kid in the room. You know, like you can hear all of this.
I just feel like there's people that their testimony is I have seen it. So that to me is like son mentirosillos, you know.
Well, you know,
como la gente que dice yo miré a una señora parada, blah 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 blah. It's like, did you really? Because my life would completely change from that moment on. Well, I would stop being a YouTuber. I would stop selling wings, and I would devote myself to being a ghost hunter, because there's no way.
There's also people that say se me apareció la Virgen, and we believe them, don't we? We're like, wow, that is such an amazing.
The only person I believe is Juan Diego. Exactly. I mean, that I know. But anyways, wow, babe, that was very insightful. You know what? You opened my eyes, because this whole time I thought I was too cool for the devil. Like too strong, like mentally strong. Like no me dejo llevar por mis...
Y por eso no se me aparece.
Mis like, wow, that's so deep. Yo no me dejo llevar like mentally, like when I'm scared, I go towards the darkness, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I'm very receptible to like, I see a TikTok of a young kid in a Ferrari. I'm like, fuck, I want that. I want to work harder, blah, blah, blah. And then in return, maybe that loses me to miss out on quality time. Quality time with my family.
Because like you don't think the devil sees that, like, man, this guy hears something in the room and he's walks straight up to it. Like he's not scared of me. But then he's like, oh, but he really wants a Ferrari and I'm going to make him get there, getting farther away from God. You know, like the devil works. The devil was an angel, right?
Babe, what the? Why are you dropping all this knowledge on me? You literally just see Desperate Housewives at night. Where do you get all this?
I have a really
those are really
thoughts.
Good examples.
Babe. I know. Thank you.
Yeah. But anyways,
with
guys.
With all that being said, guys, I hope I didn't get you thinking too hard on your way to work today. You know, for thinking everything now. But thank you guys so much for listening, tuning in, even after we were gone and took a little break for a couple of weeks. We loved you guys. We missed you so much. And we are so excited for the spooky season. We're literally in line for Starbucks at 1 p.m. getting that pumpkin spice. Also, let us know if you guys like this podcast and if you want us to continue, guys, because I feel like we only read 5 out of, I kid you not, probably 60 DMs, and we didn't even tap into the short responses on the little like question emoji thingy. So I feel like we want to read more, get through it. Like I said, some of them weren't like scary paranormal. Hopefully you weren't too scared. It's just like interesting because it gets us talking about God. It gets us talking about, you know, the spirit realm, all these different things. And hopefully it distracts you from how shitty the economy is right now on your way to work that maybe you hate. But anyways, guys, we love you. We'll see you next week. Let us know if you want another one of these. Later.
Yay Media Group.